Hello and welcome to ESAT. I am Ngiru Walde with the news. Two congressmen known for their support for campaigning for the respect of human rights in Ethiopia said they commend the progress and great strides Ethiopia has made in the last few months with the leadership of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. At a hearing titled Reviewing Current Developments in Ethiopia, Representative Chris Smith, a senior member of Foreign Affairs Committee of the House and chair of the Africa Subcommittee, said past hearings at the U.S. Congress were of condemnation of the Ethiopian government for a range of rights abuses. Smith said yesterday's hearing, however, was one not of condemnation but of commendation for the great strides Ethiopia has made since Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed assumed authority in April of this year. Smith said HRES 128, a resolution supporting respect for human rights and encouraging inclusive governance in Ethiopia, which was introduced by him and passed by the House last April, had sent a clear message of congressional resolve on the need for civil and political reform in Ethiopia. But success of this measure, Smith said, was due in large part to the efforts of the Ethiopian diaspora community in the United States, which came together to demand that egregious human rights abuses immediately cease and that fundamental human rights must be promoted and protected for all in Ethiopia. He said the very reforms undertaken by Abiy Ahmed were reforms that House Resolution 128 has called for. Smith added, for what he has accomplished in less than half a year, Prime Minister deserves praise and encouragement. Yet, we still must keep in mind that expectations, he said, have been raised and that reforms he has begun must continue. Chris Smith and Congresswoman Karen Bass visited Ethiopia at the end of last month and met and held discussions with Dr. Ahmed and other government officials as well as representatives of civic, political and religious groups in Addis Ababa. What we have seen in Ethiopia over the last few months has been entirely remarkable, Congressman Mike Kaufman of Colorado, also a staunch advocate for rights of Ethiopians, has said. He added that new reforms and change under the leadership of Abiy Ahmed have started what I believe to be a strong path, inclusive democracy and new freedom. While progress has been made, Kaufman said, troubling issues remain. He said there were still ethnic violence taking place in which many have died and hundreds of thousands displaced. Witnesses from the State Department, Ethiopian American Development Council and Oromo community of Denver as well as others testified at the hearing that focused on recent developments in Ethiopia. Ululation and song and dance erupted in a packed hall in Ethiopia's capital Addis Ababa as South Sudan's President Salva Kiir and rebel leader Riek Machar signed what they called the final peace deal. The two hugged and smiled as they exchanged the signed documents at an extraordinary summit of regional leaders who have been pushing for the former enemies to end a brutal 5-year civil war that has killed tens of thousands of people and forced 4 million people from their homes. It has taken 15 long months of shuttling between the region's capitals to negotiate this latest attempt to bring peace to the world's youngest nation. As we witness this historic milestone, we remember and grieve for the victims of the violence and hope this agreement closes that dark chapter in South Sudan, Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed said after the signing. And it has been a dark and shameful period for the country, with both sides accused of horrendous atrocities. The UN has documented horrific accounts of gang rape, throats being slit, and mass shootings. As the BBC's Emmanuel Igunza reports, amid hyperinflation, aid agencies have warned again that the humanitarian situation in the oil-rich country continues to worsen, with millions facing starvation. Speaking to the BBC after the ceremony, negotiators from both sides said they realized the task ahead in bringing lasting peace for their people. Just as Hurricane Florence closes in on the southeast, the area covered by hurricane-force winds has doubled, meaning far more people will get blasted with winds topping 73 miles per hour. By late Thursday afternoon, the CNN report said the Carolina coast can expect winds stronger than 80 miles per hour, and that's just a prelude to untold days of misery. What almost makes Florence extremely dangerous are the deadly storm surge, mammoth coastal flooding, and historic rainfall expected far inland. Florence is expected to hover over the Carolinas, whipping hurricane-force winds and dumping relentless rain, at least through Saturday. That ends the news. Thanks for watching.